Hello and welcome to The Frame. We start this week with the Framingham Community Preservation Committee's final recommendations for 2026, as the group has endorsed 13 different projects to receive a total of $3.5 million. Those dollars are collected each year through the Community Preservation Act, which uses property tax surcharges and matching state funds to benefit local housing initiatives, open spaces in the community, and Framingham's historic sites. Among those recommendations to benefit from CPA money include plans for emergency housing rental subsidies, upgrades to the Walsh-Dunning softball complex, engineering designs for improvements at Washacum Beach, and renovations to sites like the Edgell Grove Cemetery's Tomb House, along with the Cushing Memorial Chapel. Chair of the CPC, Tom Mahoney, told members of the public during a hearing on Monday, March 23rd, that the committee was working with roughly $3.8 million to distribute this year, far less than the roughly $6.2 million worth of requests for funding that were made to the group.
So as you can see, the committee had some tough decisions to make, and we did our best that we could do.
One of the major proposals that the CPC analyzed this year was a plan to preserve Eastleigh Farm from housing development. Owner Doug Steffen and the Eastleigh team had initially requested $3 million in an attempt to secure agricultural preservation restrictions at the property along Edmonds Road. That ask later went down to $1.25 million earlier this month. The Eastleigh team are continuing to seek other sources of funding to preserve the site, though Mary Kate Feeney, the city councilor for District 3, where the farm is located, urged the committee to take the first of many steps to ensure that the natural area is protected.
Eastleigh is Framingham, and now is the moment for all of us to work together to save this land and this piece of our heritage for the generations that come after us.
The CPC eventually approved a $500,000 earmark for Eastleigh. As Framingham's Director of Planning and Community Development, Sarkis Sarkeesian, noted, additional funding requests for the farm's preservation could be outlined in the future. All 13 of the CPC's recommendations are subject to final approval from the full City Council. Mahoney is hopeful that the two groups can meet at some point in April. Meanwhile, Framingham's Sustainability Coordinator Sean Luz reflected on the first year of the Community Electricity Program implemented locally, as city officials have reported that residents and businesses have saved more than $2.5 million in energy costs through this setup. Framingham Community Electricity leverages group electricity purchasing, as Eversource remains the delivery source for electricity while handling billing and outages. Luz told The Frame that over 19,000 accounts have taken part in the program, 95% of which take part in the standard green option, which uses 35% energy from renewable sources. Luz said that factor, along with the program's competitive prices compared to standard Eversource rates thanks to its stable pricing through March of 2027, have been notable. All three of the community electricity program's rates are lower than Eversource's current residential and small business basic service rate of $15.63 per kilowatt hour.
A huge part of this was environmental, right? Like, people wanted this program for the environmental benefits it could bring associated with bringing more renewable energy on to the city's electricity supply. This time around, Eversource's prices increased even more, so now our savings have grown pretty significantly.
While he explained future savings cannot be guaranteed due to changes to Eversource's rates on a consistent basis, Luz said that he's pleased with the engagement he and his team have seen 1 year in. Moving forward, he hopes this first year can be a foundation for more people to take part in the program and for community members to learn more about the energy and environmental options that are available to them.
The information, for instance, we're releasing now about kind of the program performance so far, this is also a tool to kind of continue engaging with the community to let them know hey, this is out here. As we do outreach on other energy opportunities, we're letting people know that the aggregation is an option.
More details on that story and other developments in Framingham can be found online at www.theframe.news. We have full written articles there, along with feature pieces we filmed across the city and a community calendar filled with upcoming events. Subscribe to our email newsletter too, to ensure that you never miss a beat with Framingham News in Focus. On Tuesday, March 24th, a jury at Middlesex Superior Court ruled that Stephen Paul Gale is guilty of all charges stemming from a 1989 sexual assault, kidnapping, and robbery at a retail store in Framingham. Gale was found guilty on 4 counts of aggravated rape, a pair of kidnapping charges, and 1 count of armed robbery. After the crimes happened in December of 1989 at the Hit or Miss store along Route 9, it wasn't until August of 2024 when the now 73-year-old Gale was arrested in California thanks to DNA evidence. Gale will be sentenced this upcoming Monday the 30th, though defense attorney Deborah DeWitt has indicated that there will be an appeal. Also, a former doctor who used to hold his practice in Framingham has been charged with more sex crimes, as the Middlesex County District Attorney's Office announced late last week that charges stem from alleged assaults of 11 additional women who were his patients. 52-year-old Wayland resident Derek Todd was already facing 2 charges of rape against a pair of women, though DA Marion Ryan announced on Thursday the 19th that the former doctor has been indicted on 3 additional counts of rape, along with 17 counts of indecent assault and battery for assaults that allegedly took place between 2021 and 2023. During that time, Todd was working as a rheumatologist and primary care physician at Charles River Medical Associates in Framingham. At a press conference last week, Ryan said the allegations reflect an, quote, extraordinary exploitation of a patient's vulnerability, end quote. Todd was arraigned in Middlesex Superior Court on Wednesday the 25th, according to the DA's office. Some municipal news and notes for you now. First, Mayor Charlie Sisitsky's public hearing regarding the upcoming fiscal year budget, which was initially set for this upcoming Monday, March 30th, has been postponed. As of the time of this taping, a specific makeup date has yet to be determined, though officials have noted it will take place in April after the Boston Marathon, amid the ongoing FY27 budgeting process. This delay comes after the City Council voted to extend the budgeting timeline earlier this month for a second time, as Sisitsky's budget pitch is now due to the local legislative body by May 1st. Another meeting, this time for a project to improve sewer and water infrastructure along Walnut Street, Warren Road, and other stretches in the area by Bowditch Field and Learned Pond, will take place on Thursday, April 9th. Residents are invited to ask questions and learn more from engineers and DPW officials about the tens of thousands of feet of mains and pipes that are set to be replaced and installed. The project is expected to start in the spring and run through the summer of 2028. That public meeting will begin at 7 p.m. at the Farley School Building on Flag Drive. And finally, a word about our latest frame-by-frame segment, which you can find on our social media accounts. 10 women were added to Framingham's Women's History Month exhibit recently, and residents were invited to honor those who have made a difference across the community during an event at the Memorial Building this Wednesday, March 25th. Last year, 20 local women were inducted into the inaugural exhibit by the Framingham 325th Committee and other local stakeholders to commemorate their contributions to a wide range of fields, such as education, culture, business, and public service. Now, 10 additional figures were recognized for their work across Framingham, from the 1700s to the present day. Spotlights on those honorees can be found on our social media pages. @FrameNews_ is our home on Instagram, and you can search for The Frame on Facebook as well. We encourage you to follow us on both of those sites. Subscribe to Access Framingham's YouTube channel and hit the bell icon there too to be notified whenever new content is uploaded. Full Frame episodes are also uploaded to Spotify for you to either watch or listen to. That will do it for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of everyone here at The Frame, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.